Alright, good day folks. We're going to go over a little Mastercam tutorial here. We have our IQ tester and we're going to switch that over from SolidWorks into Mastercam. Okay, so first off we want to make sure that we are in inches, because if we're in millimeters and we switch over to Mastercam, it will stay in millimeters. We also want to make sure that our Mastercam Direct tool is already in our SolidWorks. If not, go to Tools, go to Add-ins, scroll down to Other Add-ins, and check off Mastercam Direct. And also check off the startup box to make sure Mastercam doesn't just automatically start up when we start up SolidWorks. So once we have that done, we can begin opening up our Mastercam. So we go back up to Tools, Mastercam Direct, Mastercam. You want to make sure that those two options are open or turned on, and then you press the green arrow. Alright, so if you get a pop-up window, you can just press cancel, but now we're going to switch over to our Mastercam tool setup. So once you have your IQ tester there, you can select fit, and it's going to pull right down to your screen. You can see the toolbar there. But now that Mastercam is open, we'll talk about tool setup. So we got to figure out what machine we're going to use. In this case, we're going to use a Larkin router, so we'll go over how to find that. In my case, the Larkin router is already in my system, but just in case, just follow along the video if you can't find yours, and then I'll show you how to search for it and find it and put it on. Okay, so now that you've added the machine, we can go ahead and create toolpaths. So you're going to see that there's two toolpaths here now. We want to delete the first one and keep the one that we just added. So this is our machine here now, the Larkin. We want to go and find our stock, so go into stock. We want to press the little cube button here now. This is going to select our stock for us. We want to click and drag the entire IQ tester. That gets highlighted. Say yes. And now that red turns into the stock, so the machine knows now that this is what we want to make. And it's going to give us all of our parameters, so you want to double check, make sure everything's right. We got 4 by 4 by 0.75, so that's excellent. We'll press OK. Alright, so we're going to start one of our three toolpaths, which is the drill. So we want to go up into drill. We want to mask on arc, so that's going to select the different circles that are all the same size. So we're going to make a box. It automatically shows us the toolpath, but we're going to want to change that to make it more efficient. So you go down here and you're going to select a toolpath that's going to be a little bit more efficient. That one's no good. But let's see, what's the next one we select? This one looks a little bit better. So once we're okay with that, parameters will automatically pop up. We want to select which bit size we're going to use. So in this case, we're using number 144, which is the 1/8 straight inch bit, or 1/8 inch straight bit. So once you go down and find that, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Sometimes you don't want to use that one, you can use another one. And we will be coming back to this to use different bits as we go along with our other toolpaths. But once that's done, we can check the holder, make sure everything looks good, does. And then the only thing we also have to do about this one is go to linking parameters. So once we're in linking parameters, we want to change the depth to negative 0.375 inches. So this is telling the machine that we want the drill to go down into the stock. So the top of stock is 0, so negative 0.375 inches means that's going to go into it. Once we get that done, we want to go verify, so that's what I'm clicking on here now. This is going to generate a simulator. We're going to wait for that to load, get a new window. There you go. You can make it a little bit more isometric to see what you're doing. You're going to want to slow it down a little bit. And there you go, you get a good pace. You can watch it as it's going in, zoom in, check the holes, make sure it's not going down through. But everything looks good, so we can exit out of that. Okay, so our next toolpath is going to be the pocket. So this is where you have a larger indent into the stock, something that a normal drill bit can't just drill down. So we want to go back up to where we found drill in our toolpaths. We want to select pocket. We're going to select the chain, and we want to make sure that when that green arrow pops up, it's going clockwise. So we go down here and we change that. Then parameters comes up again real quick. We're going to select a new tool or a new drill bit. So we're going to use a 1/4" drill bit. This is going to take more material off in less time. So we scroll down, we're going to find that. Select that, good. Then we're going to check our holder again. We're going to select true spiral because this is a more efficient way of clearing out that stock that we don't need. Then we want to turn off entry motion. And so we want to select or turn this off because our bit is a plunging bit, so it doesn't require any additional entry motion going into the stock. Okay, so once that's done, we want to check the finishing. So you want to make sure that the pocket is only finishing on the final depth, and make sure that's not roughing or doing finish passes after roughing all pockets. So this makes sure that the edges are cleaned up only after the last pass, and it saves time. We want to skip the lead in, lead out. We only want this on our final cut. And then finally we go to depth cuts, and you want to select the top box, change the maximum rough step to 0.125, which is going to be only half the diameter of the bit. Once we're done with that, we can go to linking parameters, and this changes, and we want to change all the boxes to absolute pockets to the selective depth, whereas incremental kind of increments it. Then we want to change the depth to -0.5 for the pocket, similar to like what we did with the drill, and select OK. And then you want to verify just like we did with the drill. Perfect. If we're happy with that, we'll switch over to contour. So contour is the last toolpath we do because this cuts our Q tester out of the larger area of stock, and we don't want this to rearrange our stock and make our holes go off of different from what we see in our simulation. So similar to the pocket, we need to do our chain, and we get that from our toolpath up top. Once we're good with that, parameters comes back up. We want to select our 1/4" bit again. We want to jump right to depth cuts, turn that on, and change the maximum rough step to 1/8. And then we need tabs, so this situates our stock that we want, and it keeps it attached to the large amount of stock that we don't want, so it doesn't move it around. We want to select them on either side. We need to change it to vertical and change the tab thickness to 0.125. Change the linking parameters to absolute and change the depth to -0.8 and select OK. Then, like the last two, we are going to verify the contour. We want to make sure that the tabs are in the position that we selected. And once we get that finished, we want to verify all toolpaths so we get to see everything happen at the same time, just to make sure everything works out now that all of our toolpaths have finished. We should note also that the green and red U on the side of our stock is the lead in, lead out. So you'll see that if you go back in the video when I do contour that I've added this, and this is just so that the drill can lead in and lead out doing the contour, and it doesn't affect our stock that we want to keep. So finally is making the G-code. So this is the code that we want to put into the router itself. This is the code that tells the drill where to drill. We want to ensure that when we do the G-code, we're only keeping the code for the drill bits. So the drill toolpath will be a separate G-code from the pocket and the contour. The pocket and the contour can stay as the same code because they use the same drill, or the same drill bit. And this way you are ensuring that a 1/4" bit is not trying to drill 1/8" holes. And you can verify that the G-code is only using one drill bit by when you look at the top of the code. Once it gets generated, you can see that it'll state in the top 1/8 straight drill bit or 1/4" straight drill bit. If you have both codes there, you can see that because both of them will be listed, in which case you just go back, make sure that you're selecting just the toolpaths with the drill bit you want, and then generating it again. And once that's done, you should be good to throw that G-code on a USB, stick it into the computer that's attached to your router, and you should be good to make your own IQ tester. If you're not sure, just verify, and you'll be fine.